This episode is going to be a special episode for those who are really struggling with motivation in whatever it is that they want to do. Maybe it's in life, maybe you're struggling with motivation and you're running a business and you don't want to do it, or with a YouTube channel. This episode is pretty much for you lot. And the stuff I'm going to say in this episode is stuff that I wish someone would tell me whenever I'm going through a tough time. Because I'll be honest, some of the stuff I'm going to say in this episode is stuff that I just quite haven't truly internalized yet. So I'm hoping that some of you guys can internalize this stuff. So without further ado, this is Purpose. We are on episode 7. I don't know who you are and why you're struggling with motivation, but I'm going to tell you that, brother or sister, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. I remember I was at the gym this one time and I met a guy. His name was Tom. His name's not actually Tom, but whatever. And he told me a story that I'll just never forget. A story for the ages. And given your current situation, given what you're going through, I think this is a story that you need to hear. So the story goes a little something like this. When Tom was around my age, like 18, he just left school, he was with a girl who wasn't really right for him. This girl made him do a lot of stuff that he wouldn't not have normally done, made him shrink into someone that he just wasn't, and this girl treated him really badly as well. This girl was unfaithful to him, disloyal, and messed around with him, treated him really badly, and messed up his head. It was really, really sad. And he stopped doing a lot of stuff that once brought him joy in life. Things like going to the gym. He stopped hanging out with the people he once cared about a lot. He didn't say this to me, but I'm assuming he would have probably lost his appetite as well, or would have started overeating and binging, or at least his weight would have somehow fluctuated in a negative way. Life just wasn't going well for him at that point in time. It took a lot of mustering up the courage, mustering up the willpower to actually go and do it. But he eventually cut her off. And life was slow. He was in a lot of pain. And he often tells me that at that point in his life, he was at rock bottom. Like, he didn't really know who he was anymore. He lost himself. But slowly and surely, after being in that place, he slowly and surely started to get better. Things started to compound. His quality of life started to increase. And fast forward a few years, and he's married now. He owns a business, and his mental state of mind from now compared to then is just a night and day difference. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because right now, whatever tough time you're going through, if you're anything like me, you probably struggle to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're probably so fixated on the tough time you're going through that it's just so hard to imagine what life will be like when you're not going through that tough time. It's kind of like when you're in extremely hot and extremely cold weather, and like, let's say it's a winter's day and it's really, really cold, and you're shivering and stuff. At that moment in time, it's going to be very hard to imagine. It's going to be very hard to visualize what being very, very hot is like. When you're just in an extreme state of mind, it's very hard to experience what the other side is like. You probably don't want to hear that, oh yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel right now. You probably want to hear something else. If you're anything like me, and you're going through a tough time, you probably want some validation that, yeah, things just suck right now. Things are moving slow. Everything feels dull, repetitive, samey. It doesn't feel too great right now. And I'll be honest, you just have to accept that it's going to be like this for however long it's going to be like this for. But everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. And things do change. Let's talk about compounding for a second. You know what compounding is? You know, when, like, let's say with money, you put your money in a bank, and that money in the bank slowly just grows over time because of interest and stuff. Like, let's say you start off at £1, and then the next year it's £1.22, and the next year it's £2.40 or something, and the rate of increase just gradually starts increasing. I know that interest is flipping crazy, but you get the point. Compounding happens in life as well. It happens a lot in life. Something I've noticed whenever I'm going through a tough time, and just think back to any tough time in your life that's in the distant past. It's like whenever you're going through a tough time or a good time, let's start with a tough time. It's like the way you get out of that, or the way you naturally get out of that, is that things slowly but surely, incrementally start to get better. Just incrementally, bit by bit. It doesn't happen all at once, but it's slow, it's gradual. And your quality of life starts to increase. It starts to compound. And good things stack upon one another. It's like you go through a period, my brother put it best, I was on a call with him, he was like, you go through a period where things just don't seem to be going well for you. And then all of a sudden, things do start to go well for you, and that things actually do change. And similarly, when you're on the opposite end of the scale, where you're in an extremely good mood, extremely good quality of life, like obviously that has to fall at some point. You can't be in that prolonged state forever. Slowly and surely, the bad habits start piling on. You start to chip away at that good state, and things start to go downhill. And this stuff is natural, you know. This stuff just happens. I mean, let's talk about the value of disappointment for a second. We're still on the topic of compounding, but the value of disappointment is where whenever you start something, like, I don't know, a YouTube channel or a business, or even your mental health, you're going to go through a patch of time where things just aren't going to be good, where things are just gonna suck. And it's right here where most people are like, yeah, this is what life is gonna be like now. And to be fair, I get it. I'm not gonna sit here on my high horse and be like, oh yeah, I'm not one of them people who quit. Like, bro, I get so many thoughts about quitting and not sticking through that disappointment. I get so many thoughts about it, but at the end of the day, it's natural. This stuff happens. We're human. It's meant to happen. I mean, I guess if there's any point to this whole episode, something I wish someone would tell me whenever I'm going through a tough time is that, yeah, everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be okay. Bouts of not being motivated is completely normal. You're going to feel like you want to quit, but don't let whatever you're going through get you down. Really, I mean it. Don't let whatever you're going through get you down. And I'm saying that not as a guy who's like, oh yeah, I used to feel down, and now look at me now. Like, bro, I go through the same exact emotions you're going through, man. I'm not any better than you. I'm like, it's hard. It's hard dealing with your mind. It really helps when you have someone telling you that, yeah, things are going to be okay, that this is normal, that you're not alone in this. Alex Hormozy, he has this beautiful way of putting it. Think about it like this. This is someday the story that you're going to tell. This story of struggle and hardship and, you know, your mind telling you to quit is someday the story you're going to tell. Maybe your kids or maybe just anybody. So just don't give up, man. If you're running a business and you feel like quitting it, don't give up. If you're running a YouTube channel and you feel like quitting it, don't give up. Give it some time and see if that feeling persists. If it doesn't, then you know what to do. And similarly, if you're just generally feeling unmotivated, just know that nothing is permanent. Everything in life is temporary. That things do pass. That things do get better and things will also get worse. And that it's just a wave that we have to ride all the time. It's just how we ride that wave. What makes and breaks us. That's episode 7. I really hope this helped. If you're watching by now, I'll see you on episode 8. Take care.